Game number one between the Atlantis Leviathans and the Tartarus Titans are ready to go here in our first match of the day. It's the match of the week. Let's throw it right over to Dulcet and Myth.
The 1 and 2 stars, that'd be unheard of in my opinion if this set ends up going that way. Would be a unique look though, because I think worth mentioning out of this
will to an extent need to play safely, but you know, disarm very good into double hunter.
Whoa, Paul dashed at by Panatom and
done.
Shinto. The body blocks are good. And Shinto snags first blood. There's just no mana, no mobility. And the immobile AMC punished for first blood going over towards the mid lane, but Paul will hover around Aurora. He's piloting Atlas, and Aurora made no mistake. Wrongu throws up the River's Rebuke, but where's the help? This is just Wrongu. You get the double stun, and the amount of pressure from Wrongu forces a disengage from the Tartarus Titan. Stinger goes out, but Paul, Aurora, and Cyclone Spin backing away towards a purple buff. The Riptide is perfect. Panatom holds onto the Pal-Ow, and it looks like we'll disengage, but Layers has got something else in mind. Sends some damage towards Panatom, who connects a chain onto two, and there's big burst damage on the other side. Panatom has knocked down another. Aurora pulls the first kill of the game for the Tartarus Titans. Double Petrify means nothing when Zapman's able to jump in. And Aurora will be the final hit, and Zapman's got a double. The Leviathans have come to play in the first 5 minutes.
4-1, immediately gold, immediately swings as well. The Leviathans have got a massive lead, and all off the back of Wrongu just walking up on his own.
Broken in a strong way, role in the game right now. And so Aurora, by his own admission, should be in a spot to impact these games. How about this? The Titans a little bit behind, though. Gold Fury pulled. Wrongu
great wall.
Will not steal it away, but it's a 4-man River's Rebuke. And this is exactly what happened last time. Now Shinto wraps around the corner, but it's Aurora finding the first kill of the fight. Yet again, both of the Titans' kills on their support. Zapman re-engages. Ultimate down. Double beads burnt. Panatom has already snagged a kill onto Layers. Aurora does not have beads, and Panatom has Pal-Ow. Up he goes. One chain good. Two chains good. Double pull. Big fight. Leviathans, they don't care about the Fury. They'll win the fight after.
Benji has made the rotation. Descends into madness. Will make Panatom pay for that double kill. And well, Zapman stuck in no man's land.
Zapman's level 11 and Benji is low. Has Mark of the Golden Crow on him. Gets the stun. Zapman sticks around. He can outbox Cyclone Spin surely, and both have to dash away. Red health bars on the other side of a deicide. Leviathans grab 3. They lose at the onset of this game. Gold Fury and Pyromancer has kept this gold gap a lot closer than it otherwise might be. Only 1.3, 1.4K. Experience, though, still heavily in favor of the Leviathans. Zapman far enough ahead. He's probably feeling confident to take some boxing fights with Cyclone Spin, who will dash away. What happens here? That's a big collapse in the mid lane. Paul goes down. And Myth, we have just seen this AMC punished constantly. The mindset of the Leviathans has put pressure around mid. Their own well-controlled map state, to your point there, Myth, have taken away options from the Leviathans. Wonder if we see a collapse here onto Panatom. We sure do. Beads get used. No Pal-Ow in, and Paul finally gets a kill on board instead of a death, but Shinto can run down Layers here on the right side of this fight. Paul locked in place. Core on its rotation out of the solo lane. Make something happen. Eagles rally in. Double River's Rebuke. And now the Titans funneled back in towards the damage. Cyclone Spin. Big Petrify on the back line. And now the Titans able to fight back and might just turn this fight around. But Yarkor's got a triple kill. Suddenly Bologna out of the solo lane on a warpath as 3 are down. Titans will pick up 2.
Yark remembering everyone, or reminding them rather, why he's called the Shark. Just rotates in this team fight, double stun off the ultimate, and makes such a huge...
But this is one of the reasons the Leviathans are such a threatening team is because Shinto can be 2-0-9, 2-1-9 as the Titans put all their eggs in that basket. Get a knockdown onto the team after 45
all
seconds.
ultimates still available, and still 10 seconds left on the mid laner's respawn. Do Pyro, force a fight, try and put the Leviathans on the back foot.
Wow, Pyromancer gets reset here, cautious around the Pyro. Wrongu sent back towards Layers, but Zapman's rotated out of the duo lane, and it's a big time ultimate from the Hoagie, but Benji, he's found the first. Layers pulled back against the Pal-Ow. Zapman, aggressive positioning here, has left himself alone in the back line. And finally, a Petrify will knock down Zap, as Cyclone Spin will use his Aegis, buy himself some time, dodges out the up-down from Yarkor, and sends some auto attacks to Bologna's way. And look at what the Titans have done. They turn a pick on a Shinto into a 3-for-1 fight.
Paul low HP, but Shinto cannot stick around, not with 4 members of the Tartarus Titans right around this corner. Tier 1 tower should go to the Titans, but not much afterward, unless Shinto gets caught out again. Drop down to 20%, but that should spell the end of this engagement. The Tartarus Titans do a great job just creating threat. Just the ultimate on the Cyclone spin, so the ADC of the Titans maintains both forms of CC immunity, ultimate and beads, still available. And the Leviathans have to sit on their hands, wait for some of these huge cooldowns to come back up. The Tartarus Titans, they can do whatever they want.
They can force it. This would be a 5 versus 5, 4 versus 5 right now because Shinto is over in mid. And look at how fast the Fire Giant is going down. Cyclone Spin can shred. Paul can shred. Benji can set up. Can you buy space for your ADC? Shinto dodges out the stun with the beads, and now Layers is in a bad spot at the front line of this fight, but the wall funnels all the Leviathans right into range. But Shinto happy to turn around the damage. Zapman on the right side of the fight has already gotten one. Up, down onto Cyclone Spin for the double. Now Paul backpedaling away, uses the beads, but Yarkor is on the chase, and we are running for the hills. The Leviathans have already found 3. There should be a 4th around the corner, and Rongyu's the one who gets it.
Zapman absolutely gets MVP for that fight. Barring a literal physical wall, that ultimate from Zap, raining the suns in the middle of that engagement, was the best answer the Leviathans could have had. It forced a walk forward. Cyclone Spin has to walk through those suns, loses out on 50% of his HP just so he can get involved on the initiation from the Tartarus Titans. It was an all-in commitment. Once Benji and Aurora are so deep in that backline, they need follow-up regardless. Great disengage from Zapman. Phenomenal play.
Leviathans are not strangers to this either, holding the Fire Giant for a very, very long time to get all their teammates the buff. In 2 seconds, Panatom will be back. Panatom will snag the FG as well. Rongyu must have eaten the stinger with where that health bar is, down to about half HP. But Cyclone Spin low as well. How about this from Panatom? Don't need to be a frontliner to initiate, not when you're a Tashi. What is that damage on the back line? Shinto must have hit something big. Zapman's in there as well. Layers being melted through. Zapman can't quite connect on the ultimate, but can connect on the auto attack. Zapman and Shinto, the carries, getting it done for the Leviathans, and suddenly it's all down to Cyclone Spin and Benji. Benji is zoned out of this fight. The rest of the Leviathans have eyes on the mid-Phoenix.
Benji still has his ultimate. The Tartarus Titans need that Descent into Madness if they want to win out on an engagement. Luckily, can at least use it to defend this Titan.
The chance is small, but there is a chance. Yarkor, Rongyu, Zapman, and Shinto will walk into the Titan room. Cyclone Spin backpedals into his fountain. The Leviathans have the damage. Can they put it in the right place? Yes, they can. Shinto's on a killing spree. Down goes the Titan, and down go the Titans in game number 1.
The Leviathans get off to a quick start in this one. Stumble a little bit towards the mid-game. That gap gets closed up a fair bit. The Tartarus Titans, even in getting to that late-game portion of
damage dealer, and one of those counters that we did talk about to him is this dodgy pick. If you're the Leviathans, is that where you put your stuff here? Is up against this Zeus. We'll have to find out here in game number 2. Can the Leviathans close this one out, or are the Titans going to take us to 3?
Leviathans look dominant in game number 1. Tartarus Titans have moments of bounce-back potential, but fall just a bit short. SOT back in the solo lane for the Titans here in game number 2. He tweeted out his explanation, so if you went for Cyclone Spin. And though Paul back onto a mage, he's piloting the Zeus this game, there is still that early potential myth, relatively immobile, just like the AMC. Gotta imagine both junglers considering the mid lane as an opportunity, but right now all the fighting's happening on right. Panatom run down in Layers on Shiva has found first blood. The body block's obnoxious, but Yarkor can dash through him anyway. Tartarus Titans grab first blood.
We talked about his slash line. It didn't look so impressive because he was dying so early in some of those engagements despite setting up so much.
Aurora stunned. Panatom over to the duo lane.
That's the dash.
Desperately dashing away, but it's caught out by the stun. 1,000 cuts is in, but Aurora is pulled. Panatom right back, and Aurora lives. A petrify is huge from Cyclone Spin. Layers through on the counter gank as Zapman desperately disapparating away towards a tier 1 tower. Zap will live. But the fact that Aurora does as well is absurd, and Panatom empty-handed 0-2 to start this game. I mean, really the only couple of things we saw were some early pressure from Layers. The rest of the Leviathans group up around this Oni Fury, and it is massively burning down. Ultimate up from Aurora. Ultimate flies through, and it was right on time, but the Leviathans secure the objective, but there is a chase here from the rest of the Titans. Aurora unable to pull in Yarkor. Descended into madness. Look at the damage
Re-engage,
that Paul and Cyclone have taken on the back line. Long-range damage from Shinto in onto Cyclone Spin, who's got to leave over by the purple buff. And the Leviathans surge forward. Panatom barely makes it up into the Palau. Ends up getting burnt down by Detonate. A 1-for-1 trade plus the Fury. Now the Leviathans suddenly the ones running.
They are. Cyclone Spin low HP. If Zapman knows he's there, maybe a lot. against some of these tankier targets, especially around these objectives, but
Whoa.
might not get the chance.
Disapparating away. So Zapman will live. River's Rebuke is just going to
Re-engage.
separate the mid lane in two. And look at the supernova damage on the backside of this fight. Cyclone Spin has to dash away. Lightning Storm has completely separated us in the mid lane.
Oh, he's got
Panatom again can't finish off a kill, but Yarkor has got it this time. Layers double dashes away. Shinto has got another. And the Cthulhu on the chase. But too mobile is Layers. And somehow the Tartarus Titans come up empty-handed. I thought that Sot was going to live. I thought that Cyclone Spin were going to live. But the Leviathans find 2 picks. They start hovering by the Fire Giant.
A 10% HP soul is all it takes to bait out the entirety of the Tartarus Titans, and Zapman has already made great use of his build to resustain as Yarkor will act as a wall. Aurora creates an opening to walk in. Can Paul maybe steal this away? No, Aurora's already dead. Shinto takes him out with the Stinger, and Fire Giant will follow suit. Now, 5 members of the Leviathans with the most
circular Ho-Yi ultimate can do in a fight from Zapman, and how it completely flipped around that initiation. Petrify out.
Curious.
But so is Zapman. Aurora is behind Zap, but Disapparate well timed. That is absurd. That's all Shinto. Stinger goes out, and Aurora's just being shredded. And look at Shinto's build. Transcendence, Hydra's Crusher, and all that damage sets up for a kill onto Aurora. That Zapman also shreds. I don't think Aurora realized quite how much damage the Leviathans were able to deal in such a short amount of time.
That this is the squad, Sanguine previously, that would not be able to play an early game phase. This was the portion of the game that they have always been strongest at.
Oh, no, Myth.
But, you know, Rongyu's already got him. This is going to be massive.
There's got to be a big River's Rebuke here, right? It is. It separates everyone. Paul, alone in the River's Rebuke as Yarkor's running down the back line. Paul zooming away as best as he can. Layers helping out the rest of his team. Palau is out, and Paul is back. Shinto has shredded down the necessary target. Zapman has done the same as well. The Atlantis Leviathans fell behind early in this game, but they will knock down the Tartarus Titans in 2. They will take the game, and they will take the set.
They're going to have to go back and take out a Phoenix as well eventually. Can't hit the Titan just yet. SOT buys a little bit of time, but only because of
my carry
for Zapman. The Leviathans convincing the Tartarus Titans. I understand the positioning there. They say, no way the Leviathans are hiding in our back camps with the Fire Giant spawning right now. Unfortunately for the Titans, just incorrect in their analysis. The Leviathans look dominant here. I'd had some slight concerns considering the stumble against the Oni Warriors, but I'm not concerned anymore. Are you?
No, and we're going to get another look at the Oni Warriors later on today. Let's see if they can get things back on track, but I'm not concerned about the Leviathans at all.